Ohayoki. Hi everybody. I'm so tired. Hold on, let me see if I can make everything bigger. Oopsies. That's not what I wanted to fix, like at all. Sorry, just a moment. Sorry, technical difficulties! I should have started the stream. Okay, so see. I stayed up really late, and then I went to sleep at like 10 a.m. and then I woke up at like 1 to 3 p.m. Around then, like from 1 to 3 p.m. I was kind of like in and out of sleep and everything like that. Wish this would work for me. Thank you. Hello, hi everybody. But yeah, so I'm like not a functional yokai just yet. But hi everybody, I'm trying my best. We'll see. But anyway, today is a stream I'm pretty excited about. Because I don't get to do this sort of stream very often, but I'm also not too confident in myself either. I want to do my best, but I'm not exactly sure if I can like deliver or anything like that. So listen, even though I have like the experience to back everything up, I feel like I'm not like there's always that sort of imposter syndrome. Like, yeah, I'm not really qualified to be doing this. But it's okay because I want to help everybody. So just give me 1 second. Okay, so to kind of better explain this stream today, we are doing a art kind of like critique and correction stream. Now this one's pretty interesting because I don't think I've ever done one of these before personally. I've done this for friends, like art, like correcting art and everything like that. I've done this for friends, absolutely. But this is the first time I'm kind of like taking viewer submissions and everything like that. I noticed there's a lot of beginner artists who want to get better at art, and a lot of my friends said that I'm very good at explaining things. Because the thing is, I need things dumbed down to me like I'm 5. So I dumb things down to other people. Like they're 5, and it might seem a bit babying, but I guess it's a very good way of explaining things to people who don't understand like terminology or the fundamentals yet or anything like that. You are all kindergartners and I am the teacher, but like I'm also a kindergartner too, sorry. Hi! So basically how it worked is people submitted artworks through the Google Forms there, and it's my job to kind of go over what they specifically have problems with and see if I can correct them. Like, for example, they're like, Yoki, how do I do lighting? Yoki, how do I anatomy? Oh, Yoki, this arm looks weird. How do I unweird this arm? You know, that sort of stuff. And it's my job to figure out what the hell's wrong, but the thing is, I'm also kind of suck, so I will do my best, alright? I'm still learning and growing and everything like that, so over time, I will get better at this sort of thing, so I feel like this is also kind of practice for me too, isn't it? But hey guys, I have a question. This is a very important question before I begin. Is it okay if I get a bowl of cereal? I'm sorry. I remember how I said I woke up at like 3 p.m. Well, the rest of my day was spent kind of like picking up after other people, and I didn't eat yet. I was so sleepy. I'm so sleepy. Go eat. You promise you won't go anywhere? You pinky promise? You won't go anywhere? I'm scared you'll go somewhere. Hold on, let me... Just a moment, Yokoidachi. Stay here. I'm fixing everything on my end. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, now I will proceed to do a magic trick and go grab a bowl of cereal. 1 second. Okay, I'll be right back. Stay here. Hello. Hi. Okay. Now while I'm devouring this bowl of cereal, milk or cereal first, people? Which one? I also put a fuck ton of sweeteners into my cereal. And then the bowl, yeah, the bowl comes last, you know. I got guava juice. You had guava juice yesterday too. Hello. How is the Yoki life in Inami? Well, currently I'm eating a bowl of cereal with a bunch of honey in it, and like it's called like it's like a salted caramel sort of like extract. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a flavoring. All in a bowl of honey bunches of oats. You ever heat up your cereal though? No, because I'm a normal person. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but I have a massive sweet tooth. Like a seriously huge one. It's not even funny how big it is. I need sweet stuff. It's like, if it's not like going to give me diabetes within the near future, I don't want it. If it's not gonna spike my blood sugar the second I take a single bite, I don't want it. Mopsis is possibly the only thing I disagree with you on. In that case, add milk in like intervals, you know? Like, no, add cereal in like intervals, you know? Like, have a bowl of milk, pour some cereal, eat that cereal before it gets soggy, like, and then pour more cereal until, you know, you get your fill. Yoki also eating a bowl of cereal. Hello, hi. I'm really hungry. Oh. Mukbang stream. Morning, Yoki. Hello, everybody. Hold on just a moment. I don't have any finished works due to corruption some time ago. Is it fine to send work in progresses instead? That's completely fine. Don't worry. If it's a work in progress and it's not colored or anything, it's probably not a good idea to ask about anything coloring related. But if it's like anatomy and everything like that, I can absolutely help you. Anyway. What manner of beast is in your abode? My sister, who does not understand the words that I am streaming. Sorry, I had to crack my neck. Anyway. What a crunch, yeah. Yeah, my neck kind of hurts. Hey, cats. The creature most disturbing. The cereal sounds yummy. It is really yummy. It has like, I do taste the caramel extract and everything like that, so. Anyway, I should put it off to the side. Alright. What kind of cereal is it? So it's just a regular bowl of Honey Bunches of Oats. But I put honey in it. Well, it's agave, really, but it's like basically a honey equivalent. I put agave in it and some salted caramel flavoring. That's really tasty. It's really good. Anyway, I almost started using my spoon to draw. Anyway, so. What'd she say? We'll take it. Fuel supplies are better. There you go. Hi. Yum, 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 yum. Where's the big sweet tooth? Hold on. Sorry. Mogu. Alright, now I can actually start getting to the stream topic after I took. Anyway, never mind. There you go. So, going through these, I have made the realization that some of you are better than me at drawing. So I'm not exactly sure what you want me to help with. the ones that I feel don't need as much like criticism, or that I feel like already people are already experienced artists. I'm kind of gonna leave for later, okay? Shut up, Diego! I saw you! Like, I saw your submission and I fell to my knees. Asshole! I was like, I'm fucked! Can't believe you won't help me. This is discrimination. You too! People who are already artists, dude, you guys are so much cooler than me. What did I do to deserve this? I'm gonna lurk for a while, have fun. Thank you! Bye-bye, have fun. Well, not bye, but you know what I mean. The art is so cute. Hi, okay, so... Let's start on the very first one, shall we? Okay, so this artwork comes by way of Memovi, and the thing that they want help with in particular is that they say, my coloring and rendering skills could use work for sure, along with making it work when including characters in actual places rather than solid color voids. Hi. Okay, so basically they want help with their colors, and they want help when it comes to incorporating a character into their background. This is so cute! Wait, this is really cute! Okay. Alright, I got this. Alright, so this artwork is so good. I think it's really good in terms of like the lighting and shading and everything like that. I can see where they have issues though. So let's start when it comes to colors. By the way, Ina is my Oshi. This is good. This is Ina. Good stuff. Hi. So, working on the first one, colors. I feel like the best way to kind of... Personally, I feel like the colors on the character are already pretty good. I can tell, like, it's the sort of thing where the color, is actively worked on. Like, for example, this is Ina's. Okay, I think this is really great that this is happening to me right now. Let's see. Okay, there you go. Ina's like skin tone from the drawing and Ina's shading skin tone. These colors do work super well together, and it's much better than just using a darker version of this color, like this or something like that. So I can already tell that you have a pretty decent understanding of color theory already, and what makes a shadow look good. So this is good. Ina, take notes of this one right here. When it comes to shading skin, you want to acknowledge that the skin is warm and it has blood in it, and so thus it will be warmer when you shade it. Of course, there are exceptions to this when it comes to lighting and everything like that, but that's the general consensus, especially with shading. Now, I see a lot of the problem with the colors is that the character is having a bit of difficulty standing out from the background. So one thing we can kind of use to check on this is going to new correction layer and going to kind of gradient map, and here you can see that the background is dark, but I suppose the shirt kind of blends in a bit. It would be really cool if this character stood out a bit more. The colors I already feel are pretty vibrant, but also the background also kind of lacks any sort of like anything defining, and that's completely fine if there wasn't so much negative space. So I think to kind of touch on this problem, I'll have to touch on the second problem as well, that the character doesn't blend into the background that well. And I feel like it is because there's so much negative space that you're doing not that much with. The character is lacking a how do I say, what's the word for this? Any sort of visible impact left on the background. Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say here? It's the character is not interacting too much with their environment. With so much negative space, you want to kind of like see a visible impact left. So in this case, I would personally go ahead to make Ina bigger right here. Hold on. This is kind of difficult because I don't have the PSD or the layers, so please bear with me as I try this. I would go ahead to make Ina a lot bigger here. Don't worry, I'll edit things as I go. So, like, I'd say it's better to kind of make her the focus of the composition. Yeah, too much negative space can definitely kind of kill the vibes of of like what you're trying to kind of portray. I'd also kind of extend the beanbag a little bit, like out here. But kind of like, you don't always have to use like purple as well. You can also kind of go into like proper color theory. You can use like something. You can even kind of make the background and everything like a complementary color to kind of make sure everything kind of stands out against the background and everything like that. Like Ina is supposed to be the main focus, so you want to make sure that Ina is the most eye-catching thing of the entire background, and that's why I'm kind of making her bigger right now, is because I really want her to kind of like be seen. You could add more elements that are like, how do I say? You could add more elements that are kind of like cute in this scenario. Like, for example, I'd say maybe a bag of chips or something like that. I don't know what chips look like. Well, see, look, what they asked me for wasn't anatomy. They didn't ask for like any help with anatomy or anything like that. Yeah, no, flipping the canvas is absolutely a good decision. I'm gonna try not to touch on things that people don't ask me for, because getting criticism for things that you didn't ask for in the first place is usually not like, it's not a great feeling, personally. They asked me to help them with the color and integrating the character into the background. Let me see. I'm trying to find a good place for this bag of chips. I would absolutely put more stuff here to kind of like bring more like, I don't think I would use this color. Something more dull. Bring more color into the composition and playing on that kind of like playing on those colors that Ina has. I'd also kind of, it would be so much easier if I had kind of layers to work with. I should have asked for like a PSD or something like that, but it's fine. The lighting is also really good. Hold on one sec. Just character incorporation to the background. You want to acknowledge the fact that the character's in the room. When it comes to like this lighting here, exactly like where is it coming from? You know? Is there like a door open or some kind of like, cause you want to kind of show like evidence of that being the case. This is overall is such a super cute drawing. It's so hard to kind of explain my thought process here. So maybe like a bag of chips or anything. I would personally like adjust the perspective in the back, but generally the entire notion is super cute. I would add maybe like a table or something in the back too. No, I'd have to kind of like move all of this around if I wanted to add a table, or maybe like a rug of some kind, because or even like posters and or evidence of like this being a room. Personally, let's see. I'm trying to figure out how to kind of like give more evidence that this is a room, or instead of kind of like moving everything around. So how how I also like a bit of a criticism I also have is that she's supposedly playing a video game, but again, there's no kind of evidence of there being a TV or anything like that. So one moment, there's something I kind of want to play around with. So to kind of integrate her better into the room, I'm gonna slap on a gradient map here, and I'm gonna kind of like see. Darken layer, tonal correction. Okay, so a gradient map, which I'll kind of elaborate on later, is a good way to kind of make all of the colors harmonize really well. Okay, wait, that's great. Hold on. Okay, so let me turn this up a little bit. Yeah, so I feel like a good way to separate the character from the background too would be to kind of like what's it called? Maybe add like evidence of a screen in front of her, like maybe just kind of like don't mind me. I'm kind of like fiddling with it now. Like definitely like light over here or something. And then you could go ahead and you could absolutely kind of like add another light source entirely. And that would also kind of bring a good deal of color into the drawing, as well as kind of separate it from the background and everything like that, if you get me. Well, maybe it would be... I should use a different brush for this. It's so funny using my brushes with styles that are definitely not a part of mine. Shit. Definitely, don't worry. Give me a second, chat. I will tweak it in a moment. Maybe I should turn up the vibrancy on this. I feel kind of nervous somehow. But there's a, how do I say? There's a lot of thoughts in my brain that I have when it comes to these sorts of topics that I can't ever quite try to figure out like how to word. So yeah, separating her from the background is probably like good if you were to light in this general direction. Now this isn't personally how I would light. I'm kind of just trying to block it out right now for the artist. But conflicting light sources is definitely a cute thing to kind of like take into mind when it comes to like making a character pop out of an illustration. So over here, this entire top thing would kind of be like over here as well. And it would also make this kind of make more sense because this leg over here would be completely in the dark if it weren't for if it weren't for like any sort of other light source being played here. You could also even do without this part entirely, but I do also like the notion of this. You can play with what color it is via just like the hue, saturation, luminosity. And it doesn't even have to be completely blue, but blue is a good color to pair with purple and everything like that. I'm sorry it's so messy. I probably should have used a harder brush for this, considering considering the fact that they use like a harder brush style. Rendering is my personal style. I have to kind of take that into account as well, because nobody has like the same art style or anything like that. The advice I give has to be very general, otherwise it's like super biased and everything like that. So personally, if I had to light everything, it would be just like this side of the face entirely. But I'm so worried about kind of like messing it up that I'm like not touching it. I don't want to mess anything up. Yeah, I could definitely go as far as to just really play into that entire lighting thing. If this side of the face wasn't kind of like lightened or anything like that, I could absolutely go in for the full kind of like make it really kind of like that TV screen sort of look. And you can obviously still kind of like shade like normal, but you would have to shade very generally, as if there wasn't kind of like a light source here or anything. You know what I mean? You get me? You get me? So yeah, like this, and then you can definitely erase like other parts underneath. Like, hi. What? Now I have to be kind of like cautious about applying too much of my own like personal rules into the artwork. I'm not trying to change any of like the artist's like art style or anything like that. I just kind of want to elaborate on it, if you know what I mean. It's kind of difficult to put into words. I'm sorry. I'm also kind of shy with this sort of stuff because I don't feel like too terribly confident in my own artwork completely, but I do like helping people kind of like get a grasp of what they want to do and what they're doing and everything like that, yada yada yada, X, Y, and Z. It would be a lot easier if I were to... One sec. Eh? No, that's definitely the most difficult part, to kind of like refill the entire thing. But for making a character look more a part of like the background and everything like that, you kind of just want to... my basic answer is kind of, you just want to make sure that they're interacting with the background in some way, shape, or form. And whether that be like visually as like them actually doing something with the background, or having the background have an effect on the character. Because the main problem that I'm seeing here is, while there is like how do I say it, lighting and everything, and a direction of lighting, there is no actual evidence that the background is leaving on the character. And how I'm kind of trying to remedy that is by kind of like making the TV have like some sort of reflection on her, which I feel like would incorporate her better. And don't mind me, I'm just obviously I can't speed paint this shit. I can't speed paint it. When I was younger, I used to think that all of the speed paints and everything were actually real, and were artists drawing in like real time and everything like that. So every single time I'm doing this with kind of like nothing to say, I get kind of anxious because that's still kind of left over on me. It's so funny. But yeah, so the room's dark, and there's no kind of like open door or open light to that side. I'm sorry. So they're just gonna like kind of cut down on all of this light over here, I think. Now forgive me. I know it's kind of difficult on my end too. My style is so painterly, and I know a lot of people have their styles are so like cell shaded and everything like that. I haven't done line art since the cold hard winter of 1883. Well, technically I'd be alive during that time, you know, because yokai and everything like that, so It's not too far-fetched, but it's definitely a hyperbole. Sorry, don't mind me. This is never going to go like super quickly or anything like that, which is why there's more to get through. But you can, at least you can see kind of like the corrections in real time. I get worried. I feel like a overarching need to talk, so I feel super awkward, but I'm not saying anything. And then without those, oops, there's a whole block of light here that I missed. I'm not looking to. When it comes to rendering and everything like that, I feel like the best thing you could do at this possible moment is kind of learn how to learn the folds and wrinkles and clothes better, which I can also edit in just a moment. Where did you come from? Go away. Yeah. These are also a bit dark. Wait, no, these... You know, they're fun. It doesn't matter. Personally, I'd go for making them a little lighter, but it doesn't matter. This is also really cute, really good. Now, there are multiple ways to do this sort of thing. Personally, in the way I do it, it's more like incorporating the lighting into the drawing like afterwards. So my my general style or like process is to start with the sketch, obviously, and then do yada yada X, Y, and Z, and then when I'm getting to the coloring part, you lay down the flat colors, and then you do like the lighting in the sense that I kind of just like block it out on a layer on top, and then I kind of shade in accordance to that lighting, and then that lighting is more incorporated into the rendering. So something like this. Turn it down just a little bit. Not that bright. Whoa, she's glowing. Okay, so don't mind me as I kind of like elevator music as I kind of figure out what I'm doing right now. Not figure it out, but more so kind of just like do this entire thing. I really should have like put on lo-fi or something like that. There's actually a drawing I kind of somewhat did this exact technique in, and it worked. It turned out to work really well because the lighting is really harsh from in front. I'll kind of like, I'll see if I can vaguely kind of show it afterwards. Taking the wrinkles into account when like placing the lighting, the wrinkles, those darned wrinkles, those damned wrinkles, you wrinkles, you. Also just taking the shadows in, you silly shadows, you. Do you get me? Are you following? Are you following? Am I making a fool out of myself? I can't tell. Now, if I were to correct anything like anatomy wise, it would definitely be tilting this thing forward. From its what would the only thing that would actually like reasonably be lit is the this top part right here, but the way it's facing, this entire back part would absolutely kind of like get that light too. But it's supposed to be kind of tilted forward. It's so messy. I'm so sorry. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best, chat. Don't mind me. my entire like rendering style also consists of trial and error, so I'm trial and erroring. So already then I feel like it's a lot better in the sense that she does actively look like she's looking at a TV or anything, everything like that. Since the lighting is pointing this way, I could even kind of like edit tonal correction up the saturation of the screen and everything like that. Or even kind of like you can even like make it a different hue, but I would kind of leave it blue because blue works pretty well with purple, doesn't it? So, like that. So yeah, like this, and then you could also, if you'd like to, since I know you had like a light source here, I would personally go for the, was it? God, I love names. The was it the tetradic? No. Tertiary? What the fuck? What's the name? What's the name of it? Nah, it's a Mogless. No. The Mogless colors. Mogless colors. I even taught color theory on damn stream. This is great. Mogless colors are colors that are basically right next to each other. So, if your entire drawing is purple, some of Mogless colors would be like pink and blue. Like so, because they're basically right next to each other on the color wheel. So if you kind of want to play into that entire like a Mogless color thing, I'd absolutely recommend adding like a pink towards the back. You can make it more colorful, or anything. You don't even have to. It's just something that could be cute towards the back or something like that. I don't even know if it would make sense, but it's something to kind of consider, maybe just like a little pink light source towards the back. Just idly. Make the drawing pop a little more. You see what I mean? You see what I mean when it comes to like the gradients and everything like that? See, now the character really stands apart from the back. I'd even adjust this kind of. I'd even adjust this light source over here to be brighter. Not too terribly bright, but you know, bright enough. That's how you say analogous? Anal ghost? And I don't know, dude. I don't know. like, are you making fun of me, or are you like, oh my god, revelation? I can never tell. Okay, so, and then personally, last thing, I would make the background darker. I would, correction layer, contrast, brightness, contrast, just lower the brightness maybe. And then, wait, where did you go? Hey, turn down the brightness like this, but like not like that, if you know what I mean. And then remove this entire thing. Well, I guess I can just cut her out, maybe. What? What? So this is kind of scuffed, but this is the what I feel like would definitely help the drawing a little. I'm sorry I can't fully incorporate it into it. That would like be like a entire deal of rendering. Entire deal of rendering. But basically the before and after is this. It's like this. Reminder me of 22 other responses. Well, Trevor, you get up here and do it then. I don't think I'm getting through them all. Yeah. So yeah, I do definitely think that this helps her like kind of like fit into the background a lot more, if you know what I mean. And also kind of like the colors are definitely a little more outstanding. I'd even go so far as to again slap that a better gradient map on it. One sec. Maybe like nowhere near this intensely. Wait, no. Hold on, just a moment. But I do understand that you might want like the cool aspect of the drawing. That's exactly what I did with like Ina and everything like that. Just a moment. Alright then, cool. Yep. Okay. Yay! Fuck it up, saturation and brightness to the max. I'll correct Diego's? Okay, by all means. saves me the time and effort. But anyway, yippee! I think this drawing overall is super cute. I think, yeah, definitely making the character the focal point and kind of like integrating them into the background by like having the background actually have an effect on it is probably the best thing to go. Mind you, the background having an effect on the character doesn't necessarily mean the character has to be touching something in the background. It just means that there has to be some evidence that the background kind of leaves on them. Like for example, if there's like light that's shining through the leaves and the trees and stuff, you want to kind of see that leaf pattern on the character. You already know what I'm talking about, that sort of thing. So that's it. That's all. That's really all I would really do to this drawing. Nothing was asked of me from anatomy or anything like that, so it's okay to leave it as is. But show before and after? Okay, hold on 1 second. But yeah, the before and the after. I didn't have to edit it too much, and I'm sorry it kind of looks a little jank when it comes to coloring. It's only because I didn't want to kind of over render the piece or anything, so it's super kind of sketchy and blobby when it comes to like the actual. Damn it, 1 second. It's kind of sketchy and blobby when it comes to the actual lighting. If I could spend more time on it, I absolutely would kind of like remedy that, but good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. I really like this drawing a lot. Hi. Yoo! Anyway, on to the next. Let me kind of rummage through it. Just give me a moment. I don't know how to. So this comes by the way of. Okay, never mind. This comes from the way of Shenke, I believe. And they say, I don't know how to color and render properly. I color like what I am when I'm drawing on paper, and I'm trash at the background. So this is the aforementioned art piece. And this is so pretty! What the hell? Okay, I can absolutely see where you're having problems with the coloring and rendering, and I do believe that you actually have to take things more into account when it comes to like the shape of things and how do I say? When it comes to lighting and shading, you want to make sure that you're actually kind of like adapting to the shape. So, for example, I'll start with the face. Now, I can see for the skin, you used a lot of airbrush. Now, you kind of want to remember that the skin is, the face is kind of in planes, rather. There are kind of, when you draw a face, there are a lot of hard edges, if you know what I mean. And there are a lot of like places that have hard turns and everything like that you absolutely want to kind of like make sure get a completely different light source than the first, and this causes a lot of hard edges. If you use purely soft edges, it lacks depth. Do you know what I mean? It lacks a lot of the depth that you could be showing. And I'll start by giving this character a darker sort of shadow to work with here. And under the chin is one of those planes that cuts really hard. So you usually are not going to, you're not going to see a lot of light there, like at all. Yeah, you're usually not going to see like any light there. So kind of just give me just a moment to kind of elaborate on how I'm feeling. And then there's like, I do believe the ear is a bit strangely placed, but again, anatomy isn't really what I'm working on here, so I'll kind of try to work around it. But here, you kind of want to like make darker, as well as underneath the hair. I think is a good. I'm gonna assume like the light is coming from over here and everything like that. Kind of want to make sure that there's not too much airbrush, because depending on how you use it, airbrush is a dangerous thing, you know? It can get super, what's it called? One moment it works for you, the other moment it works against you, and it can become super dangerous really fast. You want to be super careful with that airbrush. It's not always your friend. But most times it is. But usually, sometimes it isn't. That makes me sad. This is not the color I would use. It seems that this drawing is overall pretty light. 1 minute. Let's say more of an... Sorry, it's gonna take me a second. So, this hard shadow, there's not a lot of light like coming over here. But you can also kind of like emphasize that then there's like neck stuff happening. Stuff on the neck is happening. Overall, the lines are super nice. I can't line art. I can't line art for the life of me. Yeah, no, if you put me in a room with like freaking Jigsaw or something, he's just like, do line art. Or this clasp will close around your testicles and you'll die, or something like that. I'm dying. The clasp will close around my testicles and I will die. So, yeah, this part over here is definitely an interesting one, in which there's the hair would definitely have way more of like an impact. You know what I mean? I'm gonna kind of use a multiply layer instead to kind of like emphasize my point. The hair doesn't kind of look a part of the face because it just doesn't have like any sort of like visual, like visual kind of like input. I don't know. I'm also so bad with terminology. I'm so sorry. I wish I could be better for you. I wish I could be better and tell you exactly what it is that's going on, but I don't know. Nope. Does anybody know what's going on? So I use like very vague words. Well, to be fair, I don't expect a lot of people to completely know like all terminology either, so it's probably better that I'm kind of like saying it in this way. So, and also shadows kind of get like lighter as they're like less close to the face as well, so because more light can pass through. And then this thing, this part of the eye would be covered. I think. Maybe. Kind of want to give her like more like skin. How do I say skin like rendering? This wouldn't exactly have like any particular hard shadow or anything like that. I think it would be nice if kind of like a small sort of shadow was incorporated to kind of like the plane I was talking about. The planes of the face. I don't want to make it seem very muddy or anything like that. I'm trying to kind of like... Oh no. What's going on? I can tell. Just give me a moment. Do I just make it a circle? Okay, cool. Whatever. It's fine. Having more variation in the color of the face is good anyway. Oh yeah. I think you'd leave. It's directly in the line with the light. Yeah, true. But that would be just like the bridge of the nose here. The nose also has kind of like its own hard turns and everything like that. Of course, in the anime style, it's a lot less emphasized, but usually, anime noses, it's like this will be the nose and then this will be kind of like the shading or something like that. This is like, you know, you understand what I mean. They also have their own hard turns as well. I would absolutely like love to keep this blush in, but the blush kind of makes the colors look a bit muddy in the rendering. Yeah, don't overuse the airbrush. Again, sometimes it's your friend and sometimes it isn't. It can really make or break a drawing, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna try to kind of cut down on this airbrush, but don't worry, we're not entirely removing it. I will bring it back. I will bring it back for you. Because we need to add color to her face. We must. Ow, my ass hurts. Ouch! Yahoo! I'm sorry for incorporating my own kind of like rendering style into this, but I do like to kind of like emphasize that the face has like a curve by putting something like that there. Don't mind me. The face has some sort of depth and isn't really flat, you know what I mean? Don't mind me. Shh. Also, you can absolutely use the line art to help you show that this is kind of like lighter as well. Hold on. Or in the light in general. Via just kind of like making it either thinner or... Sorry, I just remembered. You can make it thinner, or you can just kind of like make it lighter or something like that. So this is just help with rendering and everything like that. I won't be touching on the anatomy or anything like that. I chuckled. I like that guy. If I had this in higher quality, this would be so much easier. Doesn't matter. We'll kind of leave it. We'll leave it in that way. So okay. Now for the blush I mentioned, yeah, you can just pick the color of the face, and I like to use an orangey tint when I'm using blush and kind of slap the multiplayer layer on it. Now, for airbrush, what I personally would do is I would use a big airbrush and kind of use it very lightly and very sparingly, and go back to kind of like correct where I don't want it to be with a hard brush. Like, for example, like this. You aren't supposed to be here. Stop that. Stop doing that. Or maybe something softer, just kind of like get this out of the way, like that. And then for the hair, give me just a moment. I'm still kind of like picking on all of these details and stuff like that. Okay, then for the hair, I can tell there is an airbrush used here to kind of show that like the hair was affected by the light, and that's not usually how hair works. Hair also kind of has its own planes and volumes and dimensions too. And while the idea of using the line art to kind of show that the hair is also being affected by the light is a great one, it also can be like your biggest detriment. You kind of want to like take into account like the shape of the hair when you're actually shading, because hair is complicated. Hair is really complicated, so you kind of want to like really think about it a little bit. Kind of like this is such a interesting way of line arting. I'm not good at line art. I wouldn't know. I would personally also make the line art darker. You don't want to kind of like make the line art too light because it can come off as lineless, which is fine, I suppose, but it can also serve to kind of make the very paint bucket filled effect, and I feel like it's a curse. No, I'll kind of leave like a lot of stuff as is. I'll just see if I can just kind of go through the hair as normally as possible. So cute. This lady, I like her a lot. This is a nice shade of green, and I don't usually like the color green like that. I feel like I'm gonna get yelled at. Want to stop this sort of like, how do I say? Hair is a little more complicated than just general shapes too. It has these kind of it has like anime hair has like a lot of like nuanced shading that is kind of difficult to get into. I want to make certain things darker, but I don't want to kind of like ruin everything. One moment, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. Kind of like you don't want things to blend together too much. Trust me, I wish it was simple. I wish it was simple too. It's just not. It'll never be simple. At least as simple as I want anyway. I love the idea of kind of like really emphasizing these the extra strands in the hair by kind of making them lighter though. Like this right here, how it's kind of stands out from the rest of the hair because it's a lot lighter. I like that a lot. I do that myself. My gosh, she is really cute though. Don't be afraid to put more detail in the hair, even if it's kind of like super in like the really light area and everything like that. I'm so nervous, I'm so sweaty. Wonder if I'm doing okay. But yeah, so even for that sort of hair, you also want to kind of like make sure that this is also kind of like having an effect on the hair too. Not exactly sure what color her hair is supposed to be leaning to, so I'm kind of gonna use this color in the meantime. So yeah, I think the problem is just the hard shadows and soft shadows. You want to use more hard shadows. I know it's like tempting to kind of like not commit to anything, but sometimes you really want to commit to those shadows. Hard shadows are always going to be in places where like that are firmly blocked off by light, like that are like absolutely like 100% there is no light here, or as in like more so like the sun cannot get through this sort of place or anything like that. Those are the places you kind of want to like really commit to like putting a hard shadow. You know what I mean? Other places like that don't really need that, you know, I'd say it's okay to kind of like make softer and everything like that. Like for over here, you don't want to keep their light shadow here because if light's coming from this direction, which I still don't know why this godforsaken thing is here. I'll move it later. Then this entire place is going to be like blocked off and everything like that. I'd even say it that you can kind of like go a little more intense with the shadow here. Yeah, again, the hard shadow, the soft shadow here is a bit strangely placed. For hair, generally, there's not a lot of soft shadows because there's so many fine strands. It's kind of complicated. It's kind of complicated, I will admit. So I'm sorry to spend so much time on this hair, but I kind of just I do really love this drawing a lot, and I kind of just wanted to show you where exactly the light will hit and where the light won't hit. I promise I'll speed it up to get to other things later. I do feel like I'm getting a bit more comfortable and kind of like saying what I feel. Yeah, super cute stuff overall. This makes me really happy. Also, is this character from anywhere? Her design is super nice. And this part over here is also feel free to kind of also do a thing where there's like a medium sort of color that separates hard shadows and soft shadows. Well, sorry, hard shadows and like the actual like plane of color. And it's hold on, just give me a moment. Give me a moment. Sorry, it's a bit hard to kind of think in word stuff and draw. This would definitely get... I can tell you were trying to go for something hard here, and then you kind of like blended it out. And you didn't need to. You didn't need to, I promise. Commit! Commit! You can do it! I can tell you have commitment issues. I'm kidding now. That's mean. Don't be scared. I think it's just also because like this entire thing would be kind of like in the dark as well. I should probably fix the lines because it looks a bit boneless. But man, your line work is so nice. You already can kind of like, I can already see your kind of what's it called? You know how to use your line weight is what I'm trying to say. It's good stuff. I like it. Picasso. Sorry, my mom has a habit of saying that because it was a meme on TikTok for a while. I like it, Picasso, and she's just always saying it, and I caught on to it too, even though I'm not really on TikTok too terribly often. There's a lot I could do here given time, but see if I can try narrowing some of this down. Highlights would generally change color in the shadow. And I think that's something you can absolutely play on. Just give me one moment. And then maybe it would be like more towards here instead. The highlights. Any highlight in like the shadow or anything like that, or highlights fading out would generally be like darker or something like that. Give the hair a little more, what's it called? Variation in color. Also, this entire thing I think would be like mostly in the dark. My songs know what you did in the dark. So light 'em up, light 'em up, light 'em up, Sorry. It's not gonna get me copyrighted, is it? Yeah, this is better. You can even kind of leave that white rim light because if there's light hitting like the back there, it'd be good to kind of like show that it is. I'd add just more value in the hair in general, like more value variation. Don't be afraid to use darker colors even in places where it's kind of lighter, because you want to kind of like show how harsh the lighting is or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't think I'll intrude too much on that part. Cool. And the last thing is I really want to kind of like bring this out of the skin more. Okay, and then and I would, yeah, you can use it like shade this ear as well. I'd say this entire ear is in like the dark and everything like that, but you can still kind of use like darker colors to kind of like emphasize that darkness and everything like that. The darkness inside of your heart, like that. And then this entire thing would be way darker right here. I'm seeing it's kind of like a gray thing, but it's also like, I'm also kind of scared of values, don't worry. I'm scared of painting values as well. But that would be way darker because it's not hitting the light at all. This would also be way darker. This entire shoulder blade would probably not be in the light, but this is also one of the cases in which you can absolutely use like a softer light. Wait, hold on, I do recognize this character. Suddenly I do recognize this character. I do. I think Trevor showed me this character. Was it you, Trevor? Did you show me this character? So I'm not looking at the chat too terribly much. I'm sorry, I promise. I have better chat interaction with this. I'm not a failure as a streamer. I actually think I'll do this on like a different layer, so this is a lot easier to paint around the... No, yeah you did! Yeah you did! I remember you were in call and you were showing me a lady with green hair or something like that, and... was it a part of like... I don't know if it was a part of like... Fate or... I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be just hallucinating. I'm hallucinating everything. It's not a fake character. Okay, be nice to me. And then for like a lot of the like less harder planes of transition, I would also kind of like do a little bit of like a mix of hard shading and soft shading, as well as kind of like can absolutely like give that a different plane. You know what? Just give me a moment. Let me cook. All right, let me cook. Boobs. I would go ahead. You know, I'm gonna kind of. I'll go ahead and see if I can do something with the hair over here. Now, the hair over here. As this is a tricky situation, I can also see a lot of like the airbrush influence over here. You don't need it. I promise you. You don't need it that much, at least. Airbrush is a dangerous creature. A dangerous, lecherous creature. I know what lecherous means. And yes, I still do think it is lecherous. Now see, when it comes to the inside of the hair, you can be a little creative with it. No, not like that. Okay. Even say, hold on. Just a moment. Trying to think. Oops. I want to make the drawing seem more like quote-unquote magical or something like that. You could absolutely paint the inside of the hair like a lighter color and kind of like add glow it. It honestly depends on how thin it is. I think you could absolutely kind of leave it like this, but I would personally don't. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out like how to shape it. You could absolutely kind of like break it up into bits and stuff like that. Doesn't consistently need to be like the same shape or like together or anything like that. Don't be afraid of those hair strands. Ambient light, yeah. Ambient light is a good thing. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to kind of like include that sort of thing. I think I would be leaning this more towards orange and kind of like painting the inside like that instead. You know what I mean? It gives a good breakup from the from all of the rest of the character. It doesn't have to be this intense either. Kind of difficult to shape over it and everything like that. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. But yeah, orange doesn't even have to be the color either. You can use pretty much anything. Anywho. Yeah, I do believe that's like a lot better when it comes to like the rendering and the shading. Of course, I didn't touch on basically everything, but I think a lot of the entire problem here is the lack of hard lighting and everything like that. You could afford to be more playful with that, I feel. So a lot of the whites are very white in comparison to like the background and everything like that. There should definitely be like visible light source, I feel. because like she's in a very dark realm with all of this like with all of this cosmos stuff. Oops. I wish I could kind of like keep going into this. I wish I could kind of keep going like into the hey. Okay. Okay, let me free. Okay, whatever. Oh, wait, is this in the... Hey? 1 second. Sorry, something's... Ah, okay. Never mind. I'm actually kind of stupid. I was wondering what was going on. Why wasn't the color I was placing? You can also kind of like... place a very... not that color. Place like a... I would say... Hold on. I'm trying to find the specific color. Placing a light source on to emphasize the back too would also be really cool, but I'm unsure of how to incorporate it right now without a little bit of brain processing, which I don't feel like doing right now. So I'd say like shade this part a little more as well. Like just like a reference of like a back would probably be enough to do it. Wow. I'm the brain power, the brain juice, it's running out. No more brain juice, I'm sorry. It's the best you're getting from me when it comes to back rendering, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know what? I feel like I need a reference for that sort of thing. But anyway, you get what I mean. I'd say play with the values a little more. Maybe you could always up the contrast as well to kind of like bring the value in and make kind of like the hard lights harder and everything like that. You don't always have to kind of consistently keep sticking to like a really bright palette like this. While what's it called? While soft lights, great and everything like that. I personally would also kind of like really work on using those like those hard lighting techniques, because it can really do a wonder for a piece like this. I would absolutely kind of like keep going with this sort of thing, but I do not have a lot of time. I hope the examples I already kind of gave were I hope the examples I already kind of gave were like good enough when it came to that sort of thing. But so here's like the before and after. If I could like continuously work on a piece like this and like fully give it like a time to kind of like fully give time to kind of like make it better, then I feel like it would I'd be a lot better at anything. Could you send me the updated art in Discord so I can check everything? Sure, of course. Yeah, of course. But yeah, something like that. I'd also genuinely change the background, because it doesn't kind of like it doesn't fit in the context of everything. Maybe something like that. Yeah. But look, meet that. Yeah, the hard lights definitely did good wonders and stuff for everything. Let's got it though. I still have some of the cereal and milk left. Is that my chair? Yep. Yeah. My chair is squeaky. Anyway, yeah, it's very squeaky, so if you ever hear it, it's just because I'm like gently moving in my chair. I kind of tuned it out, so the squeaky chair gets the the smuggest grin while she makes her chair sing. Well, don't say it like that, Ksaya. Anyway, I'll send the art in. I'll send all the updated art pieces in the Discord. So, hi. Let's see the next one. Okay. Next one. It's got Sugi. Hi, it's Graham. Hi, Graham. Graham says, Dictogram says, I've been practicing drawing daily about 30 minutes for half this year, and I noticed that I am really afraid of doing any coloring. Me too, buddy. Me too. Whenever I color something, it feels very basic, and it feels like it drags the overall viewing experience of the image down. I feel like a big culprit is just the general style of rough liner, and I'm wondering if I should bite the bullet and clean it up, or if there's something about the coloring that I just don't understand. Let me see, actually. This is a very interesting problem. One moment. What the hell? You can't say this and show me this! What the hell? This is good stuff! One moment, let me see. Okay. Alright. Okay, so this is Graham's artwork. Hi, Graham! Okay, wait. Hi, Graham! I don't understand what you mean, but I love the general texture of everything. I love like the way it looks. One thing though is that I can tell that I don't think it's the flat color itself. I think it's the certain type of rendering you're doing. Obviously, everything's gonna be different depending on the style. But personally, I'd make sure, like, to kind of like, how do I say? So let me see. Definitely, I feel like there's a very distinct lack of value in this sort of thing, which is completely fine, because I feel like this is supposed to be the softer sort of art piece. But let me see what I can do to kind of elevate it. First and foremost, I kind of want to see what I can exactly like clean up. Sorry, don't mind me. I'm looking for something. I also need kind of like, there's something specific, like a specific reference I kind of want to like pull up for myself. Even people who are supposed to know how to draw need notes on how to draw. I am very smart. Sigh. Har 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 har. Where the fuck did I put this thing? Where did I put this thing? It was here a second ago. Where did you go? Where did you go? There's an entire thing that I had here. I just put it here for my own safekeeping. Now it's gone. Now it's gone. What the hell? Where did you go? Alright, excuse me while I Jeopardy theme. Do 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 Found it. I actually found it literally as I stopped doing it. Lamau. Okay. So let me see. First and foremost, I feel like the there's isn't exactly a distinct light source. I'm gonna kind of like going by the skin and the clothes. I'm gonna say it's coming from here. A lot of the a similar problem is that a lot of the shadows aren't very like defined either. It doesn't matter. Again, it depends on style. I personally think, but it would definitely help a lot if you kind of like there's some sort of form of resolution. I can tell you're very afraid of like committing to put anything down. So trust me, it's not that bad. I promise. Make it work for you. Make it your bitch. All right. Listen, that's how you have to approach coloring these sorts of things. So give me a second while I kind of like I do love the variation in color, but the only thing is that like it's kind of hard to tell that there is much variation in color, specifically because of like the lack of like value and everything like that. So hold on. Let me see if I can. I'm not exactly sure what. I wonder if you're leaning towards like a more warm highlight or a colder highlight. I'm kind of gonna use this as a reference. I'm gonna. Mostly. Hold on. Just a moment. I promise I'm cooking something. There's something cooking here. I feel like I should have like kind of like dulled this down just a bit. That's fine. Make noises. I'm a noisemaker. I just make noise for no reason. Should stop doing that. when I'm thinking, I always just like. I was just like, it's really annoying. Stop that. Stop making so much noise for no reason. And oh my lordy, it is really hot in this room. I'm actually really sweaty right now. Please free me from this eternal hell. Please. Thank you. It should cool down in a second, and if it doesn't, I'll just shoot myself. Just a moment. I'm trying to find something that works within the art style. Don't want to make this too terribly bright. You know, to be fair, you should kind of like. I feel like then kind of like a cooler light like on top over here would do the entire piece some good, kind of like showing that the hair is shiny. I like shiny hair. Don't mind me, I'm kind of like editing as I go, so don't worry. It might not even like completely look like this when it's done. Assuming since the light's coming from just coming from this area in specific, right? Really. I think making this area darker would also be great. Great idea. A wonderful idea. Seriously, the color variation is really good. I kind of want to keep it in, but I'm not exactly sure how to. I'm not exactly sure how to kind of include it because I'm not that good of that. That's this sort of thing. I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher it. I think adding a little bit of like darker color, like sort of semi underneath this would be cool too, to kind of like make the hair pop a bit. Keeping the texture feel. So I want to kind of keep in like a really sharp sort of look because you look like you're kind of going for that as well. Well, I mean, well, it's actually not like a very, it's kind of soft, but I feel like it would definitely benefit from way more like highlights and sort of thing. Sorry, like harder highlights. I don't know. Words, difficult words, why, why words? But anyway, there's a lot of things you could do to kind of play with coloring and shading. It shouldn't be a scary experience. I think the only way you'll kind of learn to get better is if you let yourself have those like experiences. You know what I mean? The only way you'll kind of like learn how to completely do this sort of thing at all is if, oh, like, you know, shit, I fucked up this time, but let me get more references and stuff like that and study, yada yada, X, Y, and Z. If you keep running from this sort of thing, you're not gonna learn how to do it. It's essentially what I mean. We all have our trial and error, we all fall on our asses sometimes. It's okay. You're okay. Alright? And like, nobody's gonna beat you because you're not doing something properly. Okay, no, I assure you nobody cares that much. Everybody does art because they want to have fun and everything like that. Personally, by the way, this is fur, I believe. This would be less of a pink color and more of just like a light like gray color because it's fur and not skin. The skin part of the ear is what would be like that pinkish sort of thing. Well, I can also apply it here too. Fluffy. Sorry. Sorry, I got a little excited. Fluffy. Anyway. So for the hair, yeah, no, that works out. You can. And then for the skin, I already like what you've kind of done with the skin. I feel like you could absolutely show what's it called? Darkness in like moderation and everything like that. Like, of course, like a lot of people liked using textured lines to kind of show, oh yeah, like there's darkness here and everything like that. But you can also kind of just go over it with something darker too. You don't have to completely rely on the lines as well. Ay. My sister came to check in on me. She completely forgot that I was on stream. Also, if you're gonna use like this sort of like light and everything, you kind of want to make sure you want to use it in other places too. Just make sure. I can tell this is kind of like Here is a good place. The entire touch on the lip was really good too. You can also I really love like when people do that like entire like really dark top lip sort of thing. That's really nice. I like it a lot. I would make this entire thing really dark, like darker. But that's just, it's just, I feel like, oh, this is also just like a personal style choice sort of thing. Of course, you don't have to I wouldn't say you have to listen to that part. But also, in that case. Making this really dark too. And with then like kind of like emphasizing the eyes. Yay! Yippee! I know. Wait, hold on. Oh, one color. This one. Not this color. I would say use these sorts of highlights very sparingly. Because they can either really make or break the piece really, really hard. Instead, I would use like a bright highlight like that somewhere like around here, where light will most likely be kind of like showing and everything like that. Or if you're really going for that kind of star sort of eye method, you can definitely like move it over here or something. But I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to do, so I'll leave it like here for the time being. I'd say also, hold on. Make this a lot lighter. Use this sort of separation thing that I was talking about earlier. And the skin. Oh. Maybe even want to kind of like skin tone a little bit. Sorry, I'm trying to get a feel for things too. I would avoid adding a lot of light to like the neck in situations like this, because the neck is very like closed off from like very head separate. So hold on one second. This area too. More emphasis. Collarbone highlights are scary. I'd recommend it's for collarbones, instead of highlighting them, I'd rather like use the shading to kind of bring them out more rather than the highlights. Do you know what I mean? For collarbones, it's shading that kind of makes them pop rather than the actual highlight. And also, like this sort of like a really thin rim light should be brighter, I feel. But it doesn't always have to be. I feel like it should be a lot brighter to kind of emphasize the fact that there's like the only sort of way this light could happen is if the light source was really like really harsh. Also, personally, I'd like to make the this is just a personal choice as well. You don't have to listen to me. I'd like to make this a bit thicker. You don't have to listen to me, dude. You don't have to listen, but like just emphasizing the eyelashes is great. And also, if you're you want to emphasize any sort of eye bags, like making darker underneath. That. Okay. Yahoo! Getting careful with the airbrush. Careful with soft brushes in general. PSA. Don't fall for it. Okay. Well, I could definitely add more to the clothes, but I don't really think you need to. I'd also kind of like go back in with like another brush like this and kind of like add more. Feel free to like use like bigger, softer brushes. You don't have to kind of use like thin brushes to do all of the cool stuff. I promise. It won't bite you. Then overall, I would definitely like what you've done with the hair a lot. Yeah. So how I would basically do this is I would take sorry, I'm trying to find the base color. I would take the base color, take a kind of like a thin sort of like color like this, and kind of like that. Yeah, and then over like this, and then use, I would say very, very lightly, you would like underneath like this. You want the opacity is kind of your friend here. You want like a brush with lower opacity, like a soft brush like this, will definitely kind of bring that sort of texture into the hair like that, and it makes it really fun, makes it really silly and fun. Okay, I'd also make this kind of darker. Remember underneath the neck is a very dark place, so I definitely bring more value. I think value makes anything kind of pop out a lot. So if you think your colors are bland or boring or anything like that, I assure you it's just up the saturation or the contrast or something like that. There's not a lot that needs to be done with the clothes, actually. I don't really need to touch these. I'm just doing it simply to be cool. I want to be cool. Okay. And then, since the shading's coming from here, I know this is probably like a textured thing, but just kind of like... yeah. You can honestly just... I could have honestly just left it too. But if you want to, like, if in the future, for this sort of brush, you'd probably use it that way. Alright. Okay, so I only really kind of, like, tweaked the face a little bit. So, well, didn't do too terribly much with it. But for colors, I would definitely, like, even without using, like, the contrast filters or anything like that, you can absolutely up the contrast a little bit by, like that. That would add a lot more color, and it makes it a little nicer to read. But personally, you really don't have to. As long as you just aren't afraid of touching that color wheel and making it just a little darker, I promise you, nothing will happen to you. You won't explode if you make the color wheel just a little darker or anything like that for shadows. I know a lot of people are afraid of using really dark colors for shadows, but sometimes it's necessary to kind of bring a little more life into your drawing. So again, before and after, I'll put it here for you. If I can find where it was, because I'm very smart. Give me this. Give me this. Give it to me. Give me the link. Give it to me. I want the link. Okay. So, yeah. This is my personal correction here. So, yeah. don't be afraid of colors. Try using more variations in colors, more warmer colors. I'd say your only gripe is that is color variation. Like, so if we're over here, for what you did with the hair was really good. You just didn't put enough of it. If we're over here, this sort of like little line that kind of separates the shadows and the lights would probably benefit your art style a lot. And add just the slightest bit more color in there instead of kind of making it very like ashy and gray. Because the background is also already pretty gray, so you really want to make it stand out a lot, right? Hi, Yoki, hello! Yeah. So, and also bringing in a little more lighting and making your highlights like a lot harder would also kind of like make it super cool and super nice. So, yeah, before and after. Yippee! It's a bit sad to see the line art gone. I know some people kind of really like playing with the line art like that. My style is a bit more rendery, over the top. I do believe you could still absolutely play with like the line art like that, and have like the colors like pop out a little more. It all just depends on the execution. And it all depends on your personal preference and style. So that's my sort of thing. But I'm not saying never do line art like that ever again. No, yeah, you could absolutely do it again. It's all about like execution at the end, you know. I'm certain if I had like the PSD, I'd just color under it rather than coloring over it. But anyway. I hope my explanation came across clearly enough. Alright, so I'll send this to you after I'm done. Wink wonk. And my Clip Studio Paint wants to crash. Please don't. Please don't. Hello? Hello? Oh. Please don't break. Okay, anyway. Very good work, Graham! Stop asking for help if you're already good. Okay. So there's no name entered here, so this is an anonymous person. But I hope it's okay that my piece is of another VTuber. I put a lot of effort into rendering this piece, but it still looks flat to me, especially the top half. I'm not sure if it's just bad anatomy or if better rendering would save it. By the way, she is yawning, not crying. Okay. Alright, I got you. Hold on, let me see what the piece looks like. I need access. Wait. You forgot. So for the person that shared this piece, if you could, I'm gonna request access. If you could let me in, that would be really fun and cool. Let me in. Also, make sure for anybody who sent me like a Google Drive link or anything like that, make sure you double check that I have access. If you don't want like everybody to have access, the email is inamiyoki@gmail.com. So just let me in. Let me in, please. I need access. I want access. If you don't let me in, I'll kill myself. I'm kidding. No, I'm sorry. I wouldn't do that. Maybe. Okay, so in the meantime, I'm gonna go to the next one. But I will come back to that one later to double check to see if they let me in. Alright. Okay, so hi, Doodler. Drawing better. The doodler I want to help with is drawing better clothes. I don't draw clothes well, even when I use references. I can't make the fabrics look good or folds. Teach me your clothing ways. Teach me your cute brat. Okay, let me see. Clothes are difficult, but honestly, with a good reference, you can do anything. I believe. Let me in. What the hell? Damn it, Betsy! I told you! Stop sending me stuff if you're better at it than me! Stop sending me stuff if you're better at it than me! Anyway, so... You basically got everything down, man. I don't even know what to tell you. Like plastic. Okay, so for over here, I guess if you want to kind of like emphasize that like a bodysuit is kind of tight, you could absolutely kind of like add more like lines or like what's it called, stress lines, I like to call them. 1 second. I think Yoki Papa stubbed his toe. I think I'm gonna ask if he's okay. Yeah, I think he hurt himself. I asked if he was okay. He said yeah. Anyway, sorry. Oh, sorry. That was the. It's getting noisier now. But there's a door in our hallway that just won't shut. So you have to kind of slam it to really get it closed. So. No, it just sounds like somebody's really angry outside. I promise we're only really mad at that door. Anyway. Back to what I was saying. Yeah, anyway, I feel like you could absolutely add more stress lines. And for clothes like this, it's kind of difficult. Honestly, it depends on the cut of the clothes, but for something like that, if it's not like a skin tight bodysuit, you would like to do this instead. Kind of make it like a tent. Also, you can also kind of emphasize the fact that like there's sort of like a bump here when it comes to like how this was like the pants and everything like that, how cloth would kind of like fold like this before actually kind of like getting into the pants. You can kind of emphasize it with a little bit of wrinkle there. It's personally one of my favorite things to do, really. And then it's very cool to emphasize any sort of like it's good for booba, this sort of shading. One sec. I'm really bad at sketchy styles, I'm sorry, but yeah. But anyway, as for honestly, when it comes to like really skin tight outfits, like yeah, let's say for like boobs, like this, if it's not tight enough to kind of like make the boobs look like that, you would usually opt for like the tent sort of shape when it comes to this. So if it's not like a bodysuit, you're probably going to do that rather than this. Okay. So, and as for the skirt, honestly, your style is already pretty stylized, so I don't think that there needs to be a lot of stuff happening. But I would personally twist the skirt a little more this way for action, and have a lot of the lines go like this instead. If you know what I mean, to kind of add an extra layer of motion to that kind of like spin and everything like that. There's a lot of weight at the bottom, so don't worry too much about wrinkles and stuff. Any wrinkles and stuff would be mostly at like the bottom like this and everything like that, because there's so much fluff and stuff. It's probably going to be really heavily weighed down, as opposed to like a really light skirt of like or anything like that. So that's my only corrections I really have to this entire piece. There's no sleeves or anything like that. Just a moment. Okay, anyway. Anyway. Not it. Anywho, yeah, that's it. That's all. But yeah, so, I don't really think I need a before and after because I didn't change that much. But, yeah. I didn't change that much at all. Stop being better at this stuff than me. Also, my clip studio is trying to kill itself. If anybody wants to buy me RAM, please, by all means. I need to buy RAM. Donate Yoki RAM fund, please. Yoki fund for RAM. Limo. Let's see. Okay, next one. Tsugi. Okay, this comes by way of Ayai. And they say that this is the first piece that they've done in years with not much experience to boot, and I guess I just really want to know what I should focus on to improve. The only thing I'm shooting for is generic anime manga style, really. Okay, so basically just a general, do I have anything to improve? One thing I will say though is if you want to get better at art, I'd say be comfortable with more detailed questions, because detailed questions get more detailed answers. One sec, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to open this. Okay, so yeah, no, more detailed questions get more detailed answers. Otherwise, if the questions aren't very detailed, I would just say practice. Now it seems just like a very basic standing reference. That's pretty cool. Okay, so what they want to draw in an anime manga style. Hold on, I'm trying to look back for the okay, so the first basic things I would ask to kind of like work on would be anatomy and stuff like that. Assuming this is, I don't know, is this a lady or a man? I don't know. Regardless, I feel like first and foremost you would like to cut down on. Oh, wait, hold on. Where's my handy dandy brush? This file is really big. Cut down on the head around, like right here. You kind of want to know, like, the shape of the head. Add a little more of a chin. Oh, whoopsies. This is fine right here. Neck size is actually perfectly fine. I'd say the shoulders don't have to be so wide. Unless, like, the shirt is really wide. I'd say the torso, like around here, around this tall. Kind of want to make your body around 5 to 7 heads tall. I'm just gonna completely ignore that rule. Hold on. There's one thing I want to check. Yeah, no, the size of the arm is nearly fine. Yeah, no. So, yeah, your arm would be around, like, this long. Probably this long with hand included. Because, like, your hands usually reach about to, like, the middle thigh. So that's actually not bad at all. I'd say for hips and everything like that, I'd kind of use this sort of shape like this. And then for legs, they're a lot more curvy. It honestly depends on, like, the sort of, like, what's it called? The clothes that they're wearing and everything like that. But I can't tell if this is a female or a male. because of like the body shape kind of like alludes to male, but the face looks a lot more female. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna try to correct this really generally, but it's kind of difficult, especially because I'm more used to drawing women than anything. So for calves, I'd say a little more pointy, and then sorry, I have a habit of making legs too long too. And feet. You want to get those feet in. I know nobody wants to draw feet. I don't want to draw feet either, but it's useful to know, and you have to learn it. I don't know how to draw feet either though, and I have to learn it too. Anyway, hold on. There's a lot of stuff I would still go back and kind of like edit here. And then their collarbone would be right here. So when they actually stick their hand out, their hand would be more like up here rather. And especially because like their collarbone's probably going to wow. Thank you. Stop that. Probably their collarbone's probably gonna go more up like this rather. Wow, this is just, it's really loving me today. Please. Please. Thank you. God. Probably more like this. Yeah, like that. And then this is really good. This is really good. I'm assuming this is like a hand of flames. I'd say start with a very general shape on the bottom rather than completely going like this the entire time. Start with a general shape on the bottom that you kind of like work your way up to. So something more like this, because fire is very unpredictable. And especially it's a lot easier to kind of like make shapes out of if you're kind of like making an attractive looking shape. Hold on. I'm also not sure how to draw fire either. It's fine. Wow, this is incredible. But also kind of like, don't be afraid to kind of like make particles come off of it as well. You can also kind of like emphasize the fact that it's a fist too by kind of what's it called? Emphasizing the fist in general. But yeah, so I would also bring the eyes more up here instead. And what would really also help is a good understanding of like facial guidelines. Mouth would be more up here than anything. And just working on your anatomy overall is probably the next best course of action for you. Right, so yeah, no, that's pretty much it. I think you're on a really good track. Definitely go see, I'd recommend channels like Naoki Saito, who is a completely Japanese artist, but they have English subtitles on their channel for all videos. I'd recommend Naoki Saito, or there's other artists too that I cannot think of right now. There's you can watch Reno Tuna draw on their speed paints on YouTube. You can watch I cannot, Ori Days. I think it's Ori Days. You can watch Ori Days draw as well. That they also offer really, but that's mostly for coloring and stuff like that. I'd say working on like your anatomy and proportion very first and foremost before you even touch like how to color and everything like that is probably your best course of action from here though. So that's it. So here's like the drawing versus the corrected proportion. So for people that wanted a before and after. Cut it up. I'm sorry. Stretching is great. Okay. Nice khakis, by the way. How long have I been streaming? Oh, it's been 2 hours and 30 already. Okay. Well, I feel like it's close to a good time to wrap this up. Let me see. Shrimp check. Okay, I have been shrimping. But okay. Wait, I'll do one more because this is by that one guy. Hi guy, I see you. I know you. I feel really bad looking at the next one and seeing it's you and just completely ignoring it. So, good evening, Yoki. I don't know if this is too much to ask for an art stream, so I hope you don't mind. I was designing a hero character based on the based on shows era common writer designs for stories. I'm brainstorming. The problem lies in the design of the helmet. I wanted the character to be more or less based on the great Roadrunner bird, given it's one of my favorite bird. I wanted the helmet to have a similar look to the head of the Roadrunner. However, the frills that I drew on just don't look right. My mind is telling me that the frills need to be more wild looking, but I'm not sure on that. I like your input on the issue. I provided an image of the helmet in the reference I used and complete front-looking sketch of the character design. Okay, that's really useful. Thank you. I hope it will let me in. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, I see. The frills on this... let me see. These are actually really good. Alright, so this is metal, right? This is actually not bad. Hold on, give me a minute. And the reference we're using is here. Let me in. Let me in. Hi. Let me in. Okay, there you go. These two. Okay, so frills just don't. Unironically, like the beak and everything. I think it all looks right. Hold on. I'm not exactly too familiar with Kamen Rider helmet reference, so give me a second. Kamen Rider helmets. I wish I could have gotten more into mecha when I was younger. Okay. Alright. Oh, okay. I'm starting to get it. Okay. Alright, okay. So here's what I want to do. Alright, first and foremost, I would recommend this thing come down to near the beak, because a lot of like the first and foremost, the Roadrunner's like mohawk starts at the beak as well, and you obviously don't want to give it more like of that like mecha feel by adding depth of some kind, and I would extend that depth to kind of like up here for more, I don't know. I'm not exactly experienced with mecha and everything like that, but I'm gonna do my damnedest. It's a helmet, so I don't want it to be too chunky. Alright, so like that, and then you might want to so forward facing it look more like this. Sorry for anybody, any Kamen Rider fans, feel free to kind of be like, no, that's not how you do it, and yell at me or anything like that. I'm sorry, I'm not so familiar with the series. I'm doing my best. The color also, because this is like a mecha helmet, the color shouldn't be so just like spontaneously placed, if you know what I mean. It definitely have to have some semblance of like being really stiff, if you know what I mean, and really like angular, because these are like metal plates and such, right? So you'd probably bring this down here. I know the bird's beak is long. You could probably remedy that by making the beak a little longer. I'm not exactly sure if they allow that, but longer and sharper like that. And as for these frills on the top, it's difficult to kind of do. It's very divine planes. Exactly, yeah. So aerodynamic, yeah. I'd also extend this forward. The helmets come in all shapes and sizes. Okay, cool. I'm so sorry for like adjusting like the line here, but I would move a lot of this forward. Oh, let's see. Kamen Rider helmet. Okay, I'm assuming like the neck is like here, right? So yeah, no. maybe you want to make it more like that to kind of like mirror the bird's beak sort of shape. This is already pretty good. I would add more, personally I would add more lines to kind of like also kind of give it that mech feel, but again, I'm not exactly sure what you were gunning for in this scenario, so feel free to just be like, you suck. Also, you can also really, no, a lot of like the bird's head is kind of like, sorry, the bird's eyes are kind of like facing more towards the side, if you know what I mean, because this looks like a prey bird rather than more of a predator. It's like its eyes aren't very forward facing. And it's just, I guess that's not like a something that happens like entirely within the animal kingdom or anything like that, but it's generally the rule of thumb here. Alright, as for this sort of thing, let's smooth it out for a sec. Not exactly a bad thing to do. I know you kind of want to add that like mohawk feel. I'm not exactly sure if they allow hair. Dude, are the helmets fully mecha, or are they can you add like accessories like feathers and such? I feel like designing a helmet is one of those things that could be like a whole stream by itself. Scary. This is scary stuff. Get Duke in here. I'm in unfamiliar territory. I'm in uncharted territory. Also, I would adjust these. I know that you're probably not color picking. I would adjust this color right here to be more white. I'm sorry. I'd have to like draw over a bunch of stuff. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, this right here kind of makes it feel more like the bird, if you know what I mean. I don't know if you kind of just wanted it to be like this. I'm sorry, but I'm kind of trying to reference the bird for you. It's fine. I believe in you. Thank you. You extend this down too. Bring this in more a little. Now this is something I'm not exactly sure how to approach. Not exactly sure what constitutes as sorry, excuse me as I just erased the... Again, with a mecha feel to it, I'm not exactly sure if the spots are something that would be there, but again, I'm not a bro. Now, as for the shape of this is something I am not equipped to handle. Don't mind me, I'm just looking for reference. Okay, so here's what I would do. I would extend this to be a little further back. Again, aerodynamicism. I think that's okay to leave there. Just give me a moment. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. Yeah, a little further back because this thing's mohawk does reach until like the back of its head. In this case, it does look a bit more like a... You've just given me an impossible task. I'm still trying to keep the entire mecha thing in mind, but it is very difficult considering I just have never done it before. Just give me a moment. Something's happening. Okay, so you can kind of do something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be entirely like feathers throughout. You can obviously do that, have it be attached like that. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm fucking this up. I don't know what I'm doing. I wouldn't add the dots anywhere but like up here if you really want like the pattern happening, because towards the back they do lose their spots and everything like that. So you can kind of just keep those up here. As for this, I would shape this to be more out this way. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if it's gonna just lose its shape entirely here. And then and so on and so forth. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There was something happening and then I lost the plot. All right. But so let me just kind of adjust the color here too. Right. I'd also directly reference the colors here and kind of like lighten this up. No, like you really liked that blue, but it seems like toning these things down is for the best. Also, I think playing into how long this is would be really fun. As like like that, if you know what I mean. How's that? Jaw pieces would be more ornate, really. I do see what you mean. They do look really filled in to me. It's difficult to do with a beak. I'm seeing a lot more like fox or bug sort of things. And this is only a beak. Whereas like bugs are like a little more armored looking because of their exoskeletons, and foxes have fangs. Birds just have beaks. So I'm pretty sure it's okay. You're just doing the best you can with what you've got already. Is this fine? Most common writer of bug themes. Yeah, I'm seeing. All right, that looks good. Yeah, okay. That's basically it. That's from what I can see. This is all like I feel works. So I guess a bit of a before and after. Open. Please. Please. Open. Open. Okay. It doesn't wanna. Please. I beg. I beg of thee. Ah, there we go. So anyway, yeah, so the before and the after. Yahoo! I did my best with what I got. I'm not exactly good at like mecha anything or Kamen Rider related anything or Gundam related anything. I'm doing my damnedest too, so yay! Yeah, so I think this is a good place to kind of start wrapping it up. So all of the edited illustrations I will be sending in the in general of my Discord server for the people that want to study and everything like that. So the first one we edited, the second one, and the third one, and then the fourth one, and the fifth one, and then the sixth one. All right, so thank you everybody for joining this stream today. I hope, did anybody learn anything? I don't know, I'm sorry. I felt like I was all bouncing all over the place for this stream. I felt like I was bouncing everywhere. I'm sorry. I'm also sorry I didn't get to make it in very through very much today. So I learned a lot. Yes, I learned. Maybe, probably. You don't need to learn anything. Understand? A series would be neat. Yeah, you know what? I probably would do this again. I get a little nervous when explaining things because I worry that I'm like not doing it properly. But okay, I'm glad. If you learn things, then hooray! Yeah, me. Okay. I'd appreciate not being spat on though. You get that luxury when you stop being so self-demeaning. I want to say part 2 because I want to see my own, but I also feel like I learned a great deal. Okay, all right. A part 2, I can do that for you. All right. You made you something, Yoki. It's safe for I'll post it in general chat. Okay, okay. I'll go look. Arigato. Okay. Thank you everybody for joining the stream today. I'm gonna see if I can get actual food inside of my body. What's Yoki? We did good today. You did good today. Thank you everybody for submitting your drawings. I really love them. I really love all of them. You guys did amazing. All of my criticism comes from just a place of wanting for you to like get more into art and study more and everything like that. So I hope I wasn't too harsh or anything like that. You all are incredible artists for like being like starting out. Some of you aren't even starting out, and some of you are just like to clown on me and submit stuff, even though, my God, you're so much better than me. I don't know what your problem is. Anywho, I will return for the rest later. Okay. Discord's invalid. Oh, thank you, Green. Okay. I will be posting the drawings in the general chat in just a minute. So, thank you, everybody. Oh, it's got it. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.